And away from there, the federal government has now taken its anti-corruption war to the public service. It says it has identified and removed the names of 50,000 ghost workers from the payroll. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the raid on corrupt workers has saved the country some 200 billion naira. That's almost $635 million. He said 11 people championed in the syndicate of ghost workers have also been handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. And the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, joins us now via Skype for more insight into this discovery. Good to have you, sir. Now, how did the federal government uncover this huge number of ghost workers?
Well, I hope you hear me well.
Yes, we can.
The government has set up a committee that has been working from February to now, and it is not an ad hoc committee. The committee will continue to work to look at the government payroll on a continuous basis. Because this incident, we don't think they will go with just a wave of the hand. So as it is, as you said yourself, the gains have been enormous. About 13 billion has been saved monthly from salaries that had gone to ghost workers, and about 1.1 billion to ghost pensions. So the work is going on, it hasn't ended.
Okay, all right. Just 3 days ago, a report came from the National Bureau of Statistics saying about 1.7 million Nigerians lost their jobs in the space of 9 months. And the budget for 2017 is a budget of deficit. That means government will borrow to finance the budget appreciably. So we are first asked the question, this money recovered, would it be used for something in the 2017 budget?
You know that even the 2016 budget, it is a deficit budget, which means that government had intended to borrow money in order to finance it. So what is happening is that you now needed to borrow less because you are making savings in some other areas. And to go to the issue of the job losses you mentioned, yes, it is unfortunate that some sectors of the economy have witnessed a loss of jobs, but there is also, and that has to be appreciated, that there is also growth. Recruitments are going on in some other, especially in the construction sector. The federal government is heavily funding projects, building homes and roads and other infrastructure projects. Jobs are being generated in those sectors.
Now, Mr. Shehu, are other tiers of government going to be involved in the eradication of ghost workers? Are they going to be carried along, not just the public service at the federal level?
I assure you that for now, the President has the mandate to govern the country from the center. And all of the agencies of government, the ministries and all of the parastatals, they are being put under spotlight. And these ghost workers are being flushed out. Will the states be following suit? Will the local councils follow? I guess a lot of this activity is going on. 2 days ago, we were reading the lamentations of the governor of Kogi, for instance, of how much is being lost through ghost workers. So everyone is trying to save money in times when cash is in short supply. So they don't need to be told. It's already ongoing.
Okay, we are not sure this ghost worker syndrome, the one that you just uncovered, if it was the same report that came out about a month ago from the Ministry of Finance talking about unremitted revenue. And that was a clear violation of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Section 221 and Section 22, clearly where government agencies don't remit what they make and disclose fully. So we are asking the question, will there be prosecution for those ones who violated the law and the ones you fingered out now in the ghost worker syndrome?
I assure you that there will be prosecutions. In fact, I know that there are ongoing prosecutions. As we speak now, I know that, for instance, the former chief executive of the National Broadcasting Commission is in court for exactly this non-remittance to the TSA account for withholding it. So court cases are already being generated and being taken to the courts.
Now, Mr. Shehu, in trying to overcome this incidence of ghost workers, what challenges have you had to go through? What major opposition have you had to undertake in this regard?
Well, obviously, you know that in any system that you have, no matter how rotten it benefits some people. So you don't expect people to just come out and present themselves as being, responsible for this situation. The thing is that the government has a very credible team now that is dogged, that is tested, and is fighting very hard. And the work will continue because they have the absolute support of the president to continue to do this work. So whatever resistance is there, it will be fought and vanquished.
All right, let's talk about the pension remittances. There's been a report that the federal government has not been remitting the pension as at well due for all the government workers, especially those ones that work directly with the ministry. And that even when you remit, you don't even fulfill what the Pension Act of 2014 says, which is 18%. What you still gave is 15%. Now that you've uncovered this syndicate, you have more money now. Would you start remitting people's pension funds regularly and following what the law says?
Well, I'm sorry, this is a fairly technical question. Maybe the Pension Commission would answer this question. What I want to tell you is that from the point of view of the president, he considers issue of salary payment and the pension payment as being sacrosanct. I would be surprised if the government and the center is failing to the extent you mentioned, because this is a president who has been chiding state governors to be up and doing on matters of salary and the pension. In fact, the bailouts, 1, 2, and the third one that people are now talking about, all of them have been geared towards helping state governments to come out of salary debts, because the president considers it not only embarrassing, but it's a crisis situation, and he doesn't want it to get out of hand. So salaries, pensions are very dear to him.
All right, Senior Special Assistant to President Buhari on Media and Publicity, Mr. Garba Shehu, many thanks for your time.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Thank you.